Hello everybody, it's Bleakborn, and today we're doing a reptile room video! I know you guys like them, so I'll go in depth this time a little bit more on the animals themselves. And happy Labor Day! It's a little early still in the morning, so she's kind of chilling, but we'll start off like we normally do with Khaleesi. She is in a 40-gallon Zoom Ed, I think it's designed for snakes, tank, but it works pretty well for a bearded dragon. Khaleesi is a bearded dragon. She, the scientific name is, I can never remember how to say it, but Pogona vidiceps. And if I'm butchering these, don't worry about it. But there she is, the beautiful lady. She is probably, I don't know, 14, 15 inches long now, I'd say. You can kind of see her tail is as thick as my finger. She's kind of going over to a more vegetable diet now, so she's starting to get a little older. Her tank keeps changing. We keep replacing the rocks because she likes to poop on everything. But that's Khaleesi. What you doing? What you doing back there? Her hand looks kind of funny. But we'll move on to the next set of tanks. First of all, I'll show you my... So next we'll show you guys the other aquarium I have set up. The plants are beginning to regreen and die off and melt, but they're coming back. As you can see, everything's kind of coming out nice. It's kind of, we'll see what happens with this tank. It's still not 100% cycled, so I can't really put anything in there, but it's doing pretty good. It may or may not get, what do they call them later? It may or may not get an axolotl. It might actually get some other fish. I haven't decided yet. And I'm still not sure if I like this layout, but I'm going to leave it and see how it goes. On to Ziggy's tank. I did some reworking on her pond down there, or his pond, because it was just not working out for me. It was just always getting clogged up. Still needs a little more work. He buried himself back over there. Ziggy is a Pac-Man frog, and he, other known as a Cranuel horn frog, or a I'm gonna butcher this one too. Ceratophrys Cranuel. But he just likes to hide. This tank is a 20-gallon aquarium style tank that I had converted into a vivarium. It's fully planted, and I've just been kind of trying different plants in here. It stays pretty humid, but it's so the African. Oh wow, there's a lot of water on you. I wonder how that happened. The roof's not leaking. That's weird. It is a African mask plant, or I always forget the name of it, but it's just a large leafing plant that's just getting too big for this tank, so it's kind of deciding it wants to go up and out, and I'm not going to hate on it for that. On to the next tank. This is a, I believe, the 12 by 12 Exoterra. 12 by 12 by 24, or 12 by 12 by, yeah, I think it's 12 by 12 by 24. And I've actually planted it up and letting it grow out before I potentially get some more dart frogs. And I kind of like that piece of wood as like a cave and like a piece of wood, so I didn't want to do a background. And I can do a background eventually, but I just wanted to see how it turned out. I also did a false bottom for it too. I'm getting a lot of reflection. Let's see if I can get it from the side. Yeah, so I'm tempting to figure out the false bottom on this kind of tank. I could do it like the other one and use, you know, those hydro balls, but I wanted to try out the egg crate and what do they call it? PVC method, and it seems to be doing pretty good. On to Casey's tank. I don't know where he's hiding. Is he down there? His tail's sticking out. Casey is an East African spiny-tailed lizard. They're also called armadillo lizards, and I believe the scientific name is Cordylus cataphractus. He's just hiding in there, but his tank, I added a little cactus over there. But he's just chilling in his tank. He doesn't really do too much. Climbs up around there, but he's usually so shy I can never really see him too often. But there's pretty much his tank. It's just a 10-gallon, you know, standard aquarium size with two lights. That one's got a UVB in it. That was just a heat source. This has actually got a new LED on top, but yeah, he's doing pretty good. He hasn't given me trouble for 15 years, so we'll move on to the next tank, which is the planted one we did on the channel, and it's really fogged up right now because it just got done misting, but it's doing pretty good. It's another 10-gallon tank with the LED light on top and a hookup to a fogging machine down the bottom. On to the actual inhabitant of that tank eventually. I just fed the tank, but he's very shy, so I doubt we'll see him right now. I might get some film footage of him later because he is getting bigger and it'd be nice to show you guys how much bigger he's getting. It's just hard to film him and get the top ready to put back on in case he wants to jump out. And I put this on mesh on just to keep it a little darker in there because this light's a little too bright. Let's go down to Floki's tank. He is a beta, half moon dragon scale beta. He loves being on camera. Totally. Turn sideways, babe. Yeah, there we go. Show off your colors. Yeah, he's doing great, and so is his tank. It's really starting to overgrow. You can see the autos there, auto syncluses. He's got 2 Nerite snails in there and 1, what do they call it, mystery snail hanging out in there. Oh, also, that fern there has spread to there. One of the leaves died off and it's sprouting from a leaf. Though I think that's pretty cool. But all the other plants are doing pretty darn good in my opinion. So is the moss. So that's Floki. On to the shrimp tank, which is the newest change. See if you guys can see the little specks on the glass. It likes to focus today. But as you guys can see, all those little white dots, the female gave birth. So I have, looks like I had a recording slip up there, but here you guys go. I just fed them. As you can see, they all gathered to eat. But there's so many shrimp. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's the mother back there, just kind of chilling. The one female has produced 60 other shrimp, so that's pretty darn cool. They've all kind of gathered, so. They are a Neocaridina davidi, or a cherry shrimp for layman's terms. You guys can just see the color. It's like wild how red that is. It's also just got a little, it's a 5-gallon tank. I've tore off the plastic like that one. And I have an LED clip-on light up top, kind of like that one, but not as big. And then I have just the same Phoenix Power 5 low flow filters. They're really, really good. I've had no trouble with those. Let's go on to some of our last tanks. First is this guy here. I did pull a lot of plants out for the tank above, but it's still growing in quite nicely. This is just a standard 10-gallon tank that I got a piece of glass to fit on top and have a light on it, so it's growing out, and that plant is just going wild. Then lastly, this little octagon tank may or may not get shrimp. I'm just making sure it's fully cycled again before I put anything in it. And then we'll start with the bugs. It's been a while, so let's pull them all out. See how they're doing. I have been feeding them weekly and trying to keep an eye on them, but have not had a chance to do a real good video. There's movement. I believe this is the gray isopod species in this one. Yep, there's one. But they're all up underneath here, all over. They're really fast. Oh, there's another one. They're super fast. But that's the gray isopods. They have had babies multiple times. Look at that one. That one's really dark. Wow. It's almost blue. I'll put them back. So that's the gray isopods. I feed them potatoes, cat food, kind of whatever, seeing what's working the best. Ooh, look at the shrimp. Shrimp pile. It's hilarious. They're so easy to take care of, guys, so if you ever want to get shrimp, don't hesitate. Same thing with isopods. They're kind of the same thing. Kinda. Let's see how this tank's doing. I've got some gnats in here somehow, but you guys can see all the baby whites. I believe this is my tropical... Yeah, this is my tropical dwarf white culture. And they're all over in here. I don't want to disturb it too much. Yeah, they're just everywhere. And then the two newer cultures. I think I saw the zebras that were starting to reproduce. You can see a couple there. Oh, there's another one. I'm eating a potato. I like the zebras. They're one of my favorites. Color-wise, they're really cool. One thing about filming, though, guys, it's really hard to get two hands to do some of the stuff. Must be a better way. Tripod, GoPro, a little bit of both. And the last culture is the giant one that's... Ooh, there's something moving. Yeah, they started reproducing as well. These are the giant canyon isopods. They get really big, supposedly. I don't really see the adults too much, but there's babies in here. They must burrow pretty good. But yeah, these are the adult canyon. You saw me put this culture together. If you haven't, you can find that video on my channel. They're doing really good. Unless those are dwarf whites that got in here, but I don't think so. Giant canyon. And then lastly, one of the springtail cultures. I don't need to show you both. You guys can see them all eating those rice, the mold on the rice. That's what they like. Okay. That's it for the isopod cultures. The last thing I gotta show you guys is the dubia roaches. So, another bug warning here. I guess I can show you the super worms first. Josh's Frogs is kind of handy. They give you these. I've laminated all of mine that I got so far. But looks like they need potatoes. So here is the dubia roaches. So look away if you're scared of roaches. See if I can find some adults. There you guys go. You can see the big adults down there. Big old female. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. Just feed them a little bit once in a while and They're almost like isopods, but they have wings. Oh, there's a big one. Come on, you could get up. There you go. It's a big old female. But yeah, they're all becoming adults now, so I'm gonna have a ridiculous amount of dubia roaches that currently nothing really likes to eat that much. So there's that. And then lastly, I guess I could show you guys my fruit fly cultures. I got a bunch of fruit fly cultures going now because I was running low one day, and I have bean beetles I'm trying out for a feeder. Pinhead crickets, let's see if you can see any in here. They're actually growing pretty quick, so I gotta feed them out. Pinhead crickets are tiny. I was not expecting to be quite literally the size of a pinhead. I thought they were just kind of like whatever. And then this is full of soldier fly larvae that I need to feed out to the dart frog. And you can see my feeding station's kind of a mess, but got all these different supplements I have to dip stuff in. But this is the reptile room for September. I guess the time you'll see this video will be September 3rd or 4th. Monday, Labor Day, I'll have this video posted. And thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. On one last side note, I am going to the reptile show this coming weekend in Bloomington. So if I see anyone there, I'll say hello. I'm not really... I'm just going to see if I can come up with some new dart frogs or pets or something. So if I see you guys there, it'll be cool. If I don't, I don't. So, like, subscribe,